Chosen one. Listen carefully. The air around you is not ordinary tonight. Everything has gone strangely quiet, not by chance, but because heaven has pressed pause on time itself. You can feel it in the weight of your chest, in the sudden stillness that wraps the room. Something unseen has stepped into your atmosphere. It's not fear. It's not emotion. It's divine interruption. For a long time, you've carried questions no one could answer. You've walked through fire and kept your faith alive when it should have died. You've looked at the sky and whispered, "God, did you forget me?" But heaven never forgot. Every tear was written in light. Every heartbreak was counted. And now, the answer arrives not in thunder, but in presence. Two beings move through the veil, unseen by human eyes, but felt deep in your soul. The first radiates peace so tangible you can almost breathe it. The second burns with urgency, as if holding back fire. They stand at both sides of you, messengers from the throne, and the silence deepens. You realize this isn't a dream, this is divine summons. The angel of peace steps forward first. His voice is like water on dry ground. You have endured much. Heaven saw your waiting, your faith, your pain. The storms that tried to drown you only trained you to walk on waves. His words settle your trembling. You know it's true, you've survived too much to still be ordinary. But then the angel of fire speaks. His tone shakes the very air. You have entered the appointed time. The waiting is over. Heaven calls for your response. Do not delay. Every syllable carries weight. You realize this moment is a test of obedience, not emotion. The angels do not come to comfort alone, they come to awaken. Heaven sends two only when destiny hangs in balance. Their message is not about what you lost, but about what must now rise. There is a window short, holy, irreversible. 21 minutes of mercy. 21 minutes to decide. You feel it, the choice. You can keep scrolling, or you can stop and listen. Something inside whispers, this is not coincidence. This is the call. The first angel lifts a scroll, your name glowing across it. This is your assignment. He says, the purpose hell feared you would discover. You see lines of light forming the story of your life, not what was, but what could still be. And then the angel of fire speaks again, his eyes blazing with truth. The heavens have drawn near. Respond, and the light will seal you. Delay, and the silence will return. You understand now. Heaven has opened a door. It was declared in the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 20. Here I am, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in and eat with that person, and they with me. You hear that knock? Not on wood, but on your soul. This is your door. This is your time. The invitation is personal, and the choice cannot be outsourced. Every second that passes is sacred. Every heartbeat is a countdown. You've asked God to speak. He just did. You've asked for a sign. Two angels stand beside you now. The presence you feel is not emotion, it's proof. Heaven's algorithms never glitch. You were meant to hear this message in this exact minute. And so the question remains, will you answer if your heart is burning right now? Don't suppress it. Let heaven know you are awake. Show your obedience by action, like, share, and subscribe to remain under this flow of revelation. Then comment 777 as your seal of agreement. That number is not random. It marks completion and divine alignment. You have 21 minutes. The angels wait. The door stands open. Now is the moment when eternity watches to see your response. The silence thickens again. The angels do not speak, but their eyes hold entire galaxies of truth. You realize the countdown has already begun, not in fear, but in grace. Heaven measures time differently. Every obedient heartbeat rewrites eternity's script. The air hums with unseen power. A soft wind rises, carrying whispers of your future. You sense strength replacing confusion, courage replacing hesitation. The peace of God does not argue, it simply stands. Your decision, though unseen, reshapes your atmosphere instantly. Light folds itself around you like armor. The angels bow their heads, acknowledging your awakening. You are no longer waiting for permission, you have been chosen to move. The spiritual realm recognizes your yes, and doors begin to open silently. In the still glow of this holy encounter, your soul steadies. The clock of heaven ticks louder than fear. You have responded within your 21 minutes. Destiny breathes again. From this point forward, nothing about your life remains ordinary. The angels lift their gaze once more, their wings unfolding like dawn breaking through darkness. A final wave of light moves through you, warm, electric, undeniable. Heaven seals your obedience with glory, and your name echoes across eternity's halls as one who answered. You remain in that suspended silence, the air trembling with unseen movement. Though your eyes see the same room, your spirit knows the landscape has changed. The angels stand still, guardians of a sacred threshold you are only beginning to understand. The angel of peace watches you with the calm of eternity. His presence carries the scent of old prayers, the residue of tears long dried. You have mistaken heaven's silence for absence. He says, voice soft but sharp, yet even when you heard nothing, we were watching. You were never unguarded. The words sink like light through water, slow and steady. You think back on the seasons when you asked God for signs, and none appeared. You recall the heavy days when your faith felt like dust, when your hands trembled over unanswered petitions. Now, standing before two messengers of heaven, you see the unseen pattern. Every pause was divine choreography. You were not waiting in vain, you were being timed to perfection. The angel of fire speaks next, his tone carrying both warning and warmth. Every destiny must be refined before it is revealed. He says, the furnace you hated was the forge that shaped your anointing. Nothing pure emerges without pressure. His eyes blaze with holy intensity, reflecting fragments of your own battles. Your heart aches as you remember the loneliness that once felt endless. But now you realize loneliness was never emptiness, it was the classroom of heaven. In the silence, you learned discernment. In the darkness, you learned endurance. The fire did not destroy you, it introduced you to yourself. The angel of peace lifts his gaze toward a horizon you cannot see. You were called for more than survival. He declares, you were called to carry light into places that forgot how to hope. The words do not flatter, they commission. You are being reminded of the vow heaven whispered over you long before your first breath. He stretches out his hand, and from his palm unfurls a vision, a vast field covered in faintly glowing footprints. Every path of obedience leaves light for another soul. He says, That is why your steps matter. The revelation hits you deeply. Your obedience is not private. It builds roads for others to find their way. The angel of fire steps closer, his flame softening into amber glow. This is not a message of comfort, but of clarity. He continues, heaven measures response, not emotion. Faith is not a feeling, it is movement in the absence of sight. His words strike like lightning, and for a moment, your pulse aligns with the heartbeat of eternity. You stand motionless, yet everything inside you is awakening. The peace angel's light wraps around your shoulders like a mantle, steady and sure. The assignment has already begun. He whispers, every delay you feared was only preparation for acceleration. As his voice fades, a sacred stillness returns, a pause filled with presence. Then, from the distance between them, you hear a low hum, like 1,000 unseen wings moving in unison. The atmosphere thickens. The angel of fire raises his hand, and his final words in this encounter come like thunder wrapped in tenderness. Do not look backward for proof. The sign you need is already inside you. And in that moment, you feel it, an inner ignition. Quiet, yet undeniable. Something ancient awakens beneath your ribs. Something heaven placed there long ago. It was written in the book of Daniel, chapter 10, verse 12. Then he continued, do not be afraid. Since the first day that you set your mind to gain understanding and to humble yourself before your God, your words were heard, and I have come in response to them. Well sung, Nan. Those words settle like oil over your spirit. You understand now your prayers never vanished. They summoned response. The two angels before you are not here by accident. They are the fulfillment of petitions you thought forgotten. You close your eyes, letting the truth anchor deeper. The peace settles. The fire steadies. You realize that this, too, is part of your 21-minute window, this comprehension, this awakening, this remembrance. Heaven moves not in haste, but in precision. The angels exchange a glance, silent yet full of communication. You sense the next phase approaching, a revelation that will demand not merely faith, but courage. The atmosphere begins to pulse again, slow and strong, like the rhythm of divine intention aligning with human choice. You are still standing in the same place, yet you know you are no longer the same person. The message has been delivered. The test has begun. And somewhere in the silence between their wings, destiny is still unfolding. The air trembles once more, as if creation itself exhales. The angels do not move, yet you feel their power wrapping around your heart, steadying, reminding, preparing you for what heaven will unveil next. Light flickers across the unseen horizon. A soft whisper moves through your spirit. Stay awake. The next revelation approaches. The countdown continues, not to frighten you, but to guide you deeper into alignment with divine purpose. The atmosphere thickens until even the air seems alive. You feel it again, that sacred pull between heaven and earth. The two angels no longer stand as silent watchers. They are now carriers of decree. Every movement of their light announces urgency. The angel of fire moves first, the brilliance around him crackling with divine electricity. You were not called to observe, he says, but to act. The kingdom never pauses, only hearts do. His words land like a key turning in a long-locked door within you. You understand heaven isn't waiting for perfect timing, it's waiting for willing hearts. The angel of peace turns toward you, calm but commanding. You think obedience is hard. He whispers, but delay is what drains you. Every time you hesitate, darkness celebrates. Every time you obey, light multiplies. The truth of it pierces deep. You've spent years bargaining with clarity when you should have been walking in it. The two angels exchange glances, and the room seems to pulse with invisible energy. You have heard heaven's voice. The angel of fire declares, but now you must echo it. His eyes blaze brighter. Every prophet begins as a listener. Every listener must become a responder. You begin to tremble not with fear, but with awakening. Heaven is not far, it's closer than breath. The angel of peace extends his hand toward you. Speak now, he says. Break your silence, for silence has been your greatest prison. Then the air shifts again, and you hear within your spirit a line that feels both instruction and invitation. You must answer with words that align heaven and earth. The angels await your declaration. It is spoken through the writings of James, chapter 1, verse 22. Do not merely listen to the word, and so deceive yourselves. Do what it says. The sentence lands like a sword. You finally understand what obedience means. It's not emotion, it's movement. The angel's purpose becomes clear. They have not come to prove God's reality, but to activate yours. The time for hearing has passed. The time for doing has arrived. The angel of fire lifts his voice again. Fierce but merciful. You were built for action. He says, heaven placed the blueprint in your spirit long ago. Each hesitation has cost you pieces of peace, but one yes can restore what fear has delayed. You feel the words settle inside you, heavy but freeing. Obedience is no longer about sacrifice, it's about alignment. The peace angel smiles faintly. Heaven's silence was never punishment, it was waiting for your response. He murmurs, now, speak your answer aloud. And so, in this moment between their wings, you make your declaration, not out of pressure, but out of recognition. You realize you've been standing at the door of destiny, and the handle was always on your side. Type, I step now. These 3 words are more than a comment, they are a covenant. When you write them, you mark your obedience in heaven's record. You announce that delay has expired, that faith has taken command. You align your will with divine momentum. You may think it's simple, but simplicity is where heaven hides power. The angels bow their heads slightly, acknowledging your response. They do not speak approval. Their silence is approval. The atmosphere softens. A light wind brushes your face, gentle as grace. In that quiet, the angel of fire speaks one final sentence. Your movement unlocks what prayer alone could not. Then, both angels lift their gaze toward the unseen realm, as if to confirm your obedience before the throne. You stand taller now. The trembling has turned into steadiness. For the first time in a long time, you feel ready. Ready to act. Ready to speak. Ready to walk into what heaven always intended. The countdown continues, but the fear is gone. You've already answered. You've already stepped. And with that, the next phase of your divine encounter begins to unfold. The angels remain still, their wings arching like shields of light. They watch as your declaration, "I step now," moves beyond sound, rising as a spiritual signature that heaven immediately recognizes as obedience in motion. Faith translated into action. The air hums softly, resonating with agreement. Your words carry more weight than you imagine. They echo through unseen corridors, dismantling doubt, realigning timelines. Heaven measures faith not by volume, but by immediacy, and you have responded without hesitation. Light ripples outward from your chest, forming invisible circles that touch distant destinies. Somewhere, someone feels courage again because you moved. Obedience, once personal, becomes contagious. This is how revival begins, one surrendered heart at a time. The angel of peace nods once, his glow steady. "The moment you spoke," he says, "the barriers broke." The angel of fire raises his gaze. "The step you just took is small in sound, eternal in impact." Heaven records it. Earth feels it. And as you stand in that thin place between both realms, the whisper returns, not demanding, but declaring, "Walk forward." The door has opened because you dared to move. The stillness that follows your declaration is unlike any silence you've known. It is not empty, it is alive, pulsing, aware. The angels do not move, yet everything within you feels like it's being rearranged. It is as if your very spirit has been rewritten in the language of obedience. The words "I step now" continue to reverberate through unseen realms, carrying power that cannot be measured by sound. The angel of fire lowers his gaze, and in that simple motion, the entire atmosphere shifts again. The light surrounding him begins to swirl like molten gold, circling both of you. You feel warmth not burning, but purifying. Every yes requires refining. He says, "Heaven does not call the prepared, heaven prepares the called." You know he's right. Your journey has not been a straight path of glory. It's been a refining fire. Every trial, every heartbreak, every delay was carving capacity within you. The pain was not proof of absence, it was proof of preparation. The peace angel's voice interrupts the thought gently. Each scar has become a seal. The things that hurt you have also marked you as his. The words strike deeper than comfort. They release truth. You see now that the process was never punishment. It was personalization. Heaven's anointing does not fall on the surface. It seeps into cracks, filling the broken places until glory can dwell where pain once lived. The angel of fire lifts his hand again. From his palm, a vision unfolds like smoke turning into light. You see a path ahead, narrow, glowing, stretching toward a distant horizon that flickers with brilliance. Yet, beside it, you see another road, wider, darker, littered with glittering distractions. "This," says the angel, "is what most choose. Comfort masquerading as calling, ease dressed as destiny. But those who are truly chosen will always be drawn toward the narrower flame." You stare at the two roads, feeling the quiet gravity of choice. You've already said yes, but now you realize yes is not a single word, it's a lifetime posture. The angel of peace steps closer. Every new level of calling demands a deeper surrender. He whispers, "And every deeper surrender brings greater light." You nod, though your heart feels the weight of it. Heaven's invitation is beautiful, but it is also dangerous to the version of you that still clings to control. To walk the narrow way is to trust what you cannot see. It means walking when the road disappears beneath your feet, trusting that each step will summon new ground. The angel of fire watches you, his expression unreadable but kind. You must learn, he says, that faith is not the absence of fear. It is the refusal to let fear decide. His words settle like embers on your chest. You realize how many times you've waited for fear to vanish before obeying. But faith was never about comfort, it was about courage. Then the peace angel speaks, his tone like dawn breaking. There are many who carry belief, he says, but few who carry conviction. Belief feels, conviction moves. His eyes meet yours. You have been moved. A new stillness descends. But this time, it's not weight, it's clarity. You can see farther now. The glowing path ahead no longer frightens you. It calls to something ancient within your soul. The angels exchange a glance, as if confirming that you are ready to hear what comes next. It was revealed in the writings of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 9. In their hearts, humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps. The truth of that verse unfolds before you like a map rewriting itself. You planned to survive, but heaven planned for you to lead. You aimed for peace, but heaven aimed for purpose. Every detour, every delay, every disappointment, none of it was wasted. Each one was a step divinely established. The fire angel gestures toward the horizon again. You see the path, he says, but what lies beyond it cannot be spoken, only walked. Destiny is not revealed in full, it is revealed in rhythm. Every act of obedience reveals the next instruction. The peace angel adds softly, do not fear the unknown. You cannot be lost on a road built by his voice. Something in those words releases your last remnants of hesitation. You feel your shoulders lighten. You realize that the weight you thought was burden was actually birth. Everything you've endured has been labor. And this silence you stand in is the first breath of a new beginning. The angels do not move closer, but you can feel their approval in the air. Heaven often speaks through presence, not sound. The countdown continues. But now it beats like a pulse of purpose instead of panic. You stand taller, steadier. The roads still stretch before you, but the choice has already been made. You are not here to be comforted, you are here to be commissioned. The angels know it. The heavens know it. And now, so do you. The silence does not break, it transforms. What once felt heavy now breathes like light through your lungs. The two angels stand before you, both radiant and restrained, like guardians of a mystery too vast for words. You realize the vision isn't ending, it's deepening. The peace that filled the air now hums with quiet invitation. The angel of fire's gaze softens for the first time. You have chosen the narrow flame, he says, and heaven has marked your path. But fire, once awakened, must not stay contained. What has been revealed to you must now become revelation through you. His words ring with purpose. You sense the shift from receiving to carrying. The angel of peace steps closer. Light never hides itself, he murmurs. Once it burns, it seeks others to ignite. His wings fold as if in prayer. You were never meant to hold this alone. Truth shared becomes legacy. You understand then that what heaven gives is never meant for isolation. Revelation is like breath. It must be exhaled to stay alive. Your obedience, your awakening, your yes, it's not a private experience. It's a ripple meant to reach others still asleep in the storm. The air shimmers faintly, as if responding to your realization. You feel something stirring in your spirit. A gentle nudge to extend, to share, to speak. Not because you are commanded, but because beauty naturally overflows. What you've encountered cannot stay hidden. It would suffocate if confined. The angel of fire stretches his hand toward the invisible horizon again. When you release what you have seen, heaven multiplies it. He says, when you keep it to yourself, heaven waits. The kingdom moves through generosity. Light only grows when it's given. The angel of peace looks toward you, his expression soft yet sure. Do not mistake silence for secrecy. He continues, what you carry is not for pride, but for propagation. Share the fire, and watch it find hearts ready to burn again. Their voices flow together now, weaving harmony into command. You realize they are not telling you what to do, they are showing you what it means. To carry light is to let others see by it. The moment you share truth, you are not performing, you are extending eternity's touch. It is spoken in the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 16. Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. That verse doesn't demand, it invites. It's not a rule, it's a rhythm. Light shines not because it's told to, but because it cannot do otherwise. It's in its nature to reveal, to guide, to warm. So too is it in yours. The angel of fire tilts his head slightly, eyes gleaming. The flame you've received will remain. He says, but if you lift it higher, it will call the lost home. Every act of courage, every whisper of truth, every echo of faith, it all becomes a beacon. You see visions forming around you, people in shadow suddenly pausing, turning toward faint light that grows stronger as you lift your hands. It's not a command, it's a calling. The realization washes over you like dawn. The fire within you was never meant to be admired, it was meant to guide. The peace angel smiles faintly. This is how heaven spreads. He says, not through force, but through reflection. When your light touches another, it teaches them that they too can shine. Something deep within you responds to that truth. It feels less like duty and more like destiny. You feel a pull, gentle yet profound, to let others witness what heaven has done inside you, not to impress, but to inspire. So, when your heart feels the surge to extend what you've received, imagine this. Every like is another candle lit. Every share is a spark carried across the wind. Every subscribe is a soul choosing to stay near the flame. You are not feeding an algorithm, you are feeding awakening. Each gesture becomes an act of worship disguised as connection. And when you choose to remain connected, to keep walking with those who hear the same call, you are not following noise, you are joining resonance. It's not about numbers or platforms, it's about building an altar of shared awakening. Every echo of truth multiplies heaven's reach. Somewhere deep within, the angel of fire's voice fades into your spirit. Keep the flame visible. You understand now, it's not instruction. It's identity. You were never meant to be a secret. You were meant to be a signal. As the vision begins to soften, you sense heaven watching quietly proud. profoundly near. You are no longer just the receiver of revelation, you are its messenger. Every time you like, share, or subscribe, you send light farther into darkness. You don't do it out of pressure, you do it because love longs to be seen. The flame inside you refuses to fade, it asks to spread. And in that gentle awareness, you realize that what began as a message has become a mission. So, without striving, without pressure, you let your heart whisper one more silent yes. You will shine, you will share, you will keep the flame alive. The fire that once surrounded you now settles within you. It is quieter, steadier, burning beneath the surface like molten gold beneath the earth. The angels no longer stand as figures before you, they are presence now, moving through the room like breath through wind. You feel heaven closer than ever, not as a spectacle, but as companionship. The angel of peace speaks first, his voice gentler than light. Now the message begins to live in you. He says, you are not only chosen, you are becoming the message itself. Every step you take from this moment will speak. Even when your mouth is silent, you stand still, understanding that the calling is no longer external. The battle you once feared outside has always been within. The real war was between surrender and self, between waiting and walking. Now, the lines have vanished. You are no longer two voices in conflict. You are one, will aligned with heaven. The angel of fire moves closer, and as he does, you sense the warmth rise through your hands. What heaven plants must grow, he declares. But growth does not happen in light alone, it needs darkness, pressure, and time. You see then that every closed door was not punishment, but soil. Every delay was burial that produced deeper roots. The truth tastes both sharp and sweet. It cuts pride but heals purpose. The fire within you now asks not for applause, but for endurance. The peace angel smiles faintly. Endurance, he says, is worship that refuses to give up. The air begins to shimmer again, but this time it feels softer, more sacred. You are no longer trembling in uncertainty, you are standing in transformation. Every fear that once screamed in your ear has quieted, not because you conquered it, but because heaven replaced it with certainty. It was spoken through the words in the book of Galatians, chapter 6, verse 9. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. That verse does not sound like command, it sounds like comfort. You finally understand heaven does not rush you, it roots you. Every season of silence was heaven stretching your capacity for fruit. The harvest is never late, it's precise. The angel of fire lowers his gaze once more. Do you see now why you had to wait? He asks. Had the blessing come too soon, you would have called it ordinary. Delay is heaven's way of protecting glory from being treated casually. His voice vibrates through your chest like thunder wrapped in compassion. The peace angel nods slowly. You are being prepared not just to receive light, he says, but to carry it without pride. What is coming requires strength that does not show off, but serves. You let those words soak into you. They feel like oil poured on a wound, steadying, soothing, and strong. The two angels exchange a glance again, and you can almost hear heaven's rhythm between them, patience before power, humility before honor, surrender before success. Then the angel of fire extends his hand, palm open. Within it glows a single ember, pulsing like a heartbeat. This is the remnant of your refinement. He says, keep it close. It is not a trophy, it is a reminder that grace is still active. You take the ember with trembling hands. It doesn't burn. It hums. It feels like courage condensed into light. As you hold it, you realize obedience was never about control, it was about trust. The kind of trust that keeps shining even when surrounded by shadow. The air grows still again. The angel's light begins to dim. Not as departure, but as completion. They have said what must be said. You understand that this encounter is both ending and beginning. The 21-minute window still ticks, but it no longer feels like countdown, it feels like communion. Then a voice familiar yet infinite whispers through the quiet. Mark this moment, for heaven has recorded your transformation. You know instinctively what to do. Your response must be visible, not for heaven's sake, but to anchor the revelation within your own soul. Type 9,999. These numbers are not superstition, they are seal. 4 nines represent fullness multiplied, cycles completed, seasons concluded. When you comment them, it is not about numbers, it's about declaring, I have endured, and I will not grow weary. The angels' faces soften into peace. The light around you steadies, wrapping you in warmth that feels like a divine embrace. The fire no longer roars, it rests. The peace no longer whispers, it reigns. And in that calm, you finally understand heaven is not asking for more effort, it is asking for continuity. To keep walking, to keep shining, to keep trusting. You do not need proof anymore. You have presence, and presence is enough. The glow around you steadies, no longer burning in waves of intensity but moving like breath, rhythmic and alive. The room feels both vast and intimate at once, as if the walls have dissolved into the expanse of heaven's gaze. The 2 angels remain, though quieter now, their brilliance subdued to a golden calm. You sense that a new phase has begun, one that does not require thunder or trembling, but understanding. The angel of peace moves first. Now that the fire has entered you, he says, heaven begins to test not your strength, but your stillness. His words are soft, yet each syllable hums with weight. You realize that sometimes the true trial of the chosen is not motion, it is waiting without wavering. You think back to all the moments you mistook silence for abandonment, all the seasons where you equated stillness with stagnation. But now you know in heaven's language, waiting is warfare. Every time you stayed when it was easier to flee, you were fighting unseen battles. Every prayer whispered in exhaustion was a sword drawn in faith. The angel of fire watches silently, his eyes reflecting not flame this time, but steady light. The waiting place is where authenticity is revealed. He says at last, those who can rest in uncertainty prove that their faith is rooted deeper than outcome. His words are simple, but their truth strikes deep. You have been conditioned to equate progress with speed. Heaven measures it by endurance. The air around you shifts, carrying the faint echo of wings from somewhere unseen. You realize you are not alone. There are others, countless souls walking through their own tests of waiting, unseen and uncelebrated. Yet in heaven's eyes, each one is shining. Each one is sacred. The peace angel gestures toward a horizon you cannot see. In the realm of men, he says, waiting feels like delay. In the realm of heaven, it is alignment. The pause you fear is the preparation you need. His hand lowers slowly, and you feel those words anchor inside you like seeds finding soil. It was spoken through the writings of Lamentations. Chapter 3, verse 25. The Lord is good to those whose hope is in him, to the one who seeks him. You whisper the verse aloud, and it feels like exhaling chains. You realize that the goodness of God does not always come in speed, it often comes in steadiness. You think of all the prayers that were not denied, only delayed until your spirit could hold the answer. The angel of fire takes a single step closer. There are promises that cannot be fulfilled until the vessel matures. He says, heaven never wastes miracles on unready hands. You have been strengthened not to chase blessings, but to carry them. The room brightens for a brief moment, and in that flash you see glimpses of what could come, futures where your obedience ripples through generations, where others rise because you stood firm. The vision fades quickly, but its imprint lingers. The peace angel smiles faintly. This is why the unseen years mattered. He continues, heaven built in secret what could not survive in public. Roots always grow before fruit appears. His voice carries no rebuke, only revelation. You finally understand why everything took longer than you thought. Delay was not denial, it was design. The angel of fire nods slowly. The light within you must be guarded. He warns, for once it burns steady. Distractions will seek to dim it. The enemy of destiny is not always darkness. Often, it is noise. You feel those words pierce deeply. You think of every time you almost lost focus. Every moment when the world's urgency drowned heaven's rhythm. The angel's warning is not fear, it is wisdom. The next season of your life will not require louder faith, but quieter discernment. The air settles again, and the angel's presence begins to fade to something softer, like embers cooling into deep glow. They have not left, they have merely changed form. You can feel them now in the rhythm of your breath, in the still pulse beneath your ribs. Their work is no longer around you, it is within you. The peace angel's final words come like a sigh that touches eternity. When heaven trusts you with stillness, he says, it is because movement without purpose no longer suits you. You close your eyes and inhale slowly. The truth lands quietly but completely. You are not waiting anymore. You are being aligned. Heaven is not late. You are right on time. For a long moment, everything stands silent. Then you sense it faint, subtle. Sure, the quiet applause of heaven. The recognition that you have learned what few ever understand sometimes. Standing still is obedience. The angel's light fades into the calm. You stand not in the absence of glory, but in its quiet continuation, and though the countdown still moves unseen, you no longer feel pressure. You feel peace. The light within you hums softly, like a song written before time. You breathe, and the air seems to shimmer in rhythm with your heartbeat. The peace feels deeper now, not the fragile quiet that fear can break, but the steady calm that only revelation can build. The two angels remain nearby, though they have shifted into subtler forms, no longer radiant figures of brilliance, but streaks of gentle light, circling you like twin orbits of grace. Their voices, when they come, sound more like thought than sound. more like truth unfolding than words spoken. You have crossed from receiving to becoming. The angel of peace murmurs, "Now, heaven begins to show you what you carry." His light draws closer, forming a gentle halo around your chest. Within it, images begin to stir memories, moments, fragments of days that once felt wasted. Yet here, under heaven's gaze, each one glows as if touched by purpose. The angel of fire adds softly, "Heaven never forgets anything surrendered. Every pain yielded becomes power. Every wound offered becomes a weapon against despair." You feel the weight of those words settling into the deepest parts of you. You are not a product of loss, you are proof of transformation. For a moment, the light thickens, and you see yourself as heaven sees you, not through the lens of imperfection or regret, but through the lens of potential fulfilled, the radiance of purpose. Long dormant, flickers awake. The angel of peace speaks again, voice filled with warmth. "This," he says, "is the mirror of the Spirit. Few ever stand before it and remain unchanged. You understand now why the process was long and painful. The mirror reveals truth, and truth, though beautiful, demands surrender. You have been stripped of illusions, emptied of pretense, so that what remains can finally shine without distortion." The angel of fire's tone grows firmer, yet still tender. "You must remember," he says, "that identity is not emotion. It is revelation. You are not what the world called you. You are what heaven named you before the world began." The words echo, wrapping around you like light woven into language. You are what heaven named you. The phrase repeats in your spirit, until you feel the very structure of your thoughts begin to shift. The titles others placed upon you, failure, unworthy, forgotten, begin to crumble. In their place rise new words, carved by grace, chosen, refined, commissioned. The angel of peace moves slowly around you, his light tracing patterns in the air, circles, lines, symbols that shimmer for a moment before dissolving. "These are records," he explains. "Heaven writes not on paper, but on presence. You have become a scroll of living testimony. You think of every story you've carried, every scar that once brought shame. Now they look different, beautiful, sacred even. They are the handwriting of redemption. Every mark is proof of mercy. Every line is evidence of grace." It was written in the book of Isaiah, chapter 61, verse 3, "to bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of a spirit of despair." Those words unfold inside you like morning breaking. The trade has already happened, you just hadn't seen it. Heaven has been exchanging your ashes for beauty piece by piece, moment by moment, even while you were still mourning. The oil of joy was already running through the cracks of your heartbreak, preparing you for this very unveiling. The angel of fire looks into your eyes, his gaze steady, knowing, "This is why you were preserved." He says, "Not because you were the strongest, but because you were the most willing to be broken in the right hands. You swallow hard as truth anchors deeper." It has never been about qualification, it has always been about surrender. Heaven builds with yielded hearts, not perfect ones. The peace angel's light glows softer, almost tender. When you see yourself as heaven does, he whispers. You will stop striving to earn what you already are. The realization feels like release. The striving, the comparison, the endless effort to prove your worth, all of it dissolves. In its place remains quiet, certainty you belong. You are chosen. You are enough. The angels say nothing for a while. The silence is not emptiness, it is completion. The mirror of the Spirit remains before you, reflecting not flaw but fire, not guilt but grace. You take a deep breath. The image in the mirror begins to change. It is still you, but stronger, steadier, radiant with purpose. This is not who you will become. This is who you have always been. Waiting to remember. The angels fade slightly, their light blending with yours until you cannot tell where heaven ends and you begin. For the first time, you truly understand what it means to carry glory within clay. You are not the reflection, you are the vessel of it. The moment lingers, and time stands still. The mirror fades, but the truth remains. Heaven's image lives inside you now. You no longer chase approval, you mirror presence. The vision does not fade, it deepens. The mirror of the Spirit that revealed who you are begins to ripple, as if the reflection itself senses the approach of something vast. The air grows heavier, the light sharper. What once felt like peace now feels like preparation. The angels have not vanished, they have simply stepped back, giving space for a revelation that must come through testing. A low vibration hums beneath your feet, subtle at first, then stronger. You realize the ground is trembling not from fear, but from alignment. Heaven is shaking what must be shaken, so that only the unshakable remains. The angel of fire appears once more, brighter now, his form like living lightning. This, he says, is the shaking of the chosen. Everything false must fall away so that truth may stand alone. What you built in fear cannot survive in glory. His words are thunder wrapped in mercy. The peace angel's light flickers beside him, gentler but no less powerful. Do not be afraid of what falls, he says. Only what is unstable will collapse. What was built on obedience will endure. You watch as invisible tremors begin to move through your spirit. Thoughts, habits, attachments, structures you didn't even realize were weak begin to quake. But instead of dread, you feel relief. The shaking is not punishment, it is purification. The angel of fire spreads his wings, and sparks scatter into the air. When heaven prepares to elevate, it first purges. He declares, "The mountain cannot rise until the loose stones are removed." His voice rolls through you, stirring memories of moments when everything seemed to fall apart, only for peace to follow in the ruins. The shaking intensifies, but so does the light. It's as though each fragment that falls releases a hidden radiance within you. What was once pain becomes illumination. What once bound you becomes blessing. It was proclaimed in the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 27. The words "once more" indicate the removing of what can be shaken, that is, created things, so that what cannot be shaken may remain. The verse pulses through you like heartbeat and prophecy combined. Everything temporary trembles. Everything eternal holds firm. You understand now the shaking is grace in disguise. The peace angel moves forward, his glow weaving around the tremors like calm water taming a storm. You are not losing stability, he assures you. You are finding your foundation. His tone feels like a hand resting over a racing heart. You breathe slower, steadier, until peace returns to your center. You look around, and though the shaking continues, you are no longer moved by it. The world may tremble, but you stand unmoved, anchored in something older than time. You remember the words you once spoke, "I step now," and realize that this is the step they led to. Faith that cannot be shaken is faith that has been tested. The angel of fire lowers his wings, and embers fall like stars. What was temporary has passed. He says, what remains is eternal. You are standing not on ground, but on glory. The shaking begins to quiet, and with it comes revelation. The battlefield you feared was never external, it was within. Every time you surrendered fear, pride, and hesitation, you were fighting wars unseen. Heaven does not call the fearless, it calls the faithful who stand even while trembling. The peace angel looks upon you, his expression filled with quiet approval. You have stood through the shaking. He says, now you must declare it. Type, still I rise. These 3 words are not a boast, they are a seal. They speak of storms endured and promises kept. When you write them, you are not proclaiming victory over others, you are declaring alignment with heaven's endurance. It means, though the world quakes, I will not break. The angel of fire nods once. Every chosen soul must rise through ruin. He says, resurrection is the rhythm of those marked by light. His wings stretch outward, scattering the last sparks into the air. Each one becomes a small star, orbiting around you like proof that you have withstood what was meant to destroy. Silence follows, but it is not the silence of absence. It is the silence after thunder, the sacred pause where heaven catches its breath before speaking blessing. You stand in that stillness, unshaken, unbroken, aware that endurance itself has become your anointing. The ground steadies, the air clears, the mirror of the Spirit glows faintly once more, and you see your reflection standing tall, luminous, and free. You realize the shaking didn't change who you were, it revealed who you have always been. Type, still I rise. These words carry the sound of resurrection. They are not typed to be seen, they are spoken to be sealed. Each letter declares, I survived the shaking, and I still stand. Heaven reads such words as worship, not noise. When you write them, light answers back. It is your silent amen, your covenant to remain unbroken even when the world trembles. The silence after the shaking feels holy, almost fragile, as though heaven itself is waiting to see what you will do with peace. The air no longer vibrates with thunder, it hums like a heart just after victory. You have stood, and heaven has recorded it. But now, standing is not enough. Light must move again. The angel of peace speaks first, his tone low, tender, steady. You have endured, he says. But endurance was never the final goal. Strength becomes sacred only when it becomes service. His light flickers like dawn, spreading slowly across a battlefield. You have seen the storm. Now become the calm that others will find shelter in. The angel of fire steps closer, softer than before but still fierce. Do you see? He asks. The flame within you is no longer for survival, it is for illumination. Every step you take from here becomes a torch for another. You nod. though your throat tightens. You understand now calling is not a title, it's a responsibility. The light you carry cannot stay hidden inside moments of revelation. It must find motion. It must become invitation. The peace angel raises his hand, and the space around you blooms with faint lights like distant candles, flickering but struggling. Some burn steady, others sputter in the wind. These, he says, are hearts waiting for the spark you carry. They will never know light if you keep your fire secret. You watch them flicker in the dark, and something deep within you breaks, not in pain, but in compassion. The angel of fire sees the shift and smiles faintly. That, he says, is the mark of the chosen, not just to receive revelation, but to radiate it. You realize then that sharing is not performance, it is purpose. When light expands, it does not weaken, it multiplies. The more it gives, the brighter it becomes. It is revealed in the book of Philippians, chapter 2, verse 15. Then you will shine among them like stars in the sky as you hold firmly to the word of life. The verse feels alive. You see it now, not a command, but a prophecy. You were never called to hide your story, your scars, your faith. You were called to become constellations in dark skies, so that lost souls could navigate by your endurance. The angel's light grows gentler. The peace one speaks again. You do not share to be seen, he says. You share to remind others that heaven still moves. Every testimony told, every act of courage revealed, it becomes a bridge from despair to hope. His words unfold like petals in slow motion. You realize the world is full of silent hearts waiting for proof that light still wins. And the proof is you. The angel of fire gestures toward the fading stars before you. When you lift your flame, he says, it calls others to remember theirs. When you speak truth, it teaches silence how to sing again. The flame is not yours alone, it is heaven's echo through you. Something stirs in your chest, a warmth that feels like purpose being reborn. You realize that to withhold your story now would be to hide a gift heaven gave you to multiply. And so the invitation comes not forced, not loud, but gentle as sunrise. Every like becomes another spark in the dark. Every share becomes a torch passed into another hand. Every subscribe becomes a vow to walk beside the light instead of away from it. The angels do not demand, they invite. The call is not duty, it's beauty. To connect is to continue the current of heaven's movement through you. The act itself becomes sacred when done with intention. The peace angel looks into your eyes. Do you see now? He asks. Connection is not about noise, it's about resonance. When hearts align around the same light, heaven amplifies the sound. You exhale, the truth landing soft but deep. To join, to engage, to share, these are not digital gestures, they are spiritual seeds. Each one falls into unseen soil, sprouting in lives you may never meet. That is how the kingdom grows, in whispers, in pixels, in presence. The angel of fire's wings flare one last time, scattering gold dust into the atmosphere. Let them see through you, he says, not your perfection, but your persistence. The world is drawn to light that survived the storm. You close your eyes. You can almost see it now, hands reaching, hearts awakening, lights kindling across the earth like dawn spreading from soul to soul. None of it is forced. It is flow. It is love learning how to move. And so, with quiet conviction, you let the light expand. You don't push, you release. The beauty of sharing becomes worship. The connection becomes communion. Heaven doesn't demand your participation, it delights in it. The angels step back, their faces radiant with approval. The light around you rises one final time, filling every shadow until only glow remains. You have become the torch you once followed, and in the stillness, the whisper returns not instruction, but affirmation shine freely. Let the flame find its way. The brilliance fades into a softer gold, like the afterglow of sunset resting over a quiet field. You can feel warmth still pulsing through your hands, the trace of heaven's fire that has not gone out but learned to rest. The angels stand farther now, not distant but deliberate, giving you room to walk within what you have become. The peace angel's voice drifts through the calm, tender yet edged with purpose. You have released the light, he says. Now heaven measures not your passion, but your perseverance. His tone carries no weight of judgment. It sounds more like the gentle counsel of one who has seen too many bright flames fade in the wind. The angel of fire lowers his wings, his light dimmed to a quiet ember. The danger of glory, he says, is not loss, but fatigue. When fire burns too fiercely, it can consume its carrier. Heaven's wisdom is balance, flame, and rest must dance together. You understand him immediately. You remember every season when zeal overtook peace, when you tried to serve God without sitting at his feet. You remember the exhaustion that followed, the weariness that made even faith feel heavy. Now you realize that true light does not fight the dark, it simply outlasts it. The air thickens, gentle but holy. The angel's words linger in the air like smoke rising after incense. You are entering the season of stewardship. The peace angel explains. You have received revelation, now you must guard it. Revelation without reflection becomes noise. What heaven gives must be tended like a flame in wind. You breathe slowly, letting that truth settle. You sense heaven's trust upon you, not as pressure, but as presence. You are being invited into maturity, into rhythm, into rest that still moves with purpose. The angel of fire lifts his eyes. Do not mistake stillness for slumber, he says. This peace is not pause, it is preservation. Heaven hides you again, not to silence you, but to strengthen you for what is next. You can feel it, the shift between seasons. The first calling demanded awakening. The second required endurance. But this one asks for wisdom. The challenge now is not surviving storms, it's learning to walk gently in sunlight. It is revealed in the writings of Ecclesiastes. Chapter 3, verse 1. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under heaven. The verse hums inside you like an ancient heartbeat. Seasons have always been heaven's language. You finally see that there is purpose in every rhythm, war and rest, speaking and silence, fire and stillness. None is wasted, and none is eternal. Each prepares you for the next. The peace angel steps forward again, and with a slow motion of his hand, the air fills with gentle images, past moments of your own impatience, now seen through heaven's lens. Where you once saw failure, you now see formation. The times you thought you were waiting were actually the times heaven was weaving. The angel of fire smiles faintly. The gold must cool before it can be shaped. He says, "You are no longer being purified, you are being formed." His words sink like sunlight into soil. You stand in silence, allowing the truth to expand inside you. There is beauty in this calm. You feel neither the rush of earlier urgency nor the sting of testing. This peace feels earned, not given. It is the peace that follows surrender, the quiet that comes after battle. The angel's light flickers around you, moving in slow circles. They seem less like messengers now and more like witnesses, guardians of what heaven has written within your heart. You realize that revelation is not something you hold, it's something you become. The peace angel speaks once more, his voice soft as wind over water. From this point, he says, heaven will move through your stillness as much as through your speech. When you rest in his rhythm, you become a channel for his flow. You close your eyes, letting the words wash through you. You feel neither urgency nor fear, only a sense of completion. Heaven does not rush its chosen, it refines them through patience. The angel of fire takes one last step closer. Guard the sacred. He says, what you have seen cannot be shared carelessly. Not every ear is ready, and not every heart can hold holy weight. Wait for divine timing. It will come like wind, invisible but unmistakable. The message lands quietly, heavy with peace. You know now that maturity is not louder, it is lighter. True strength moves softly. As the angel's glow begins to fade, you sense heaven's rhythm shifting once more. A new chapter approaches, not of burning, but of building. Not of revelation, but of remembrance. You stand in the hush between movements, aware that rest is not the end, it is the inhale before the next exhale of purpose. The 21 minutes may still be counting, but within your soul, eternity has already begun to move. The hush deepens until it feels like a living thing. The peace around you is not empty, it is purposeful. Breathing in time with the unseen will of heaven, you stand still, aware that the angels have not gone. They are present, veiled now, their light moving like a soft pulse through the air. The world feels suspended, as though creation itself is leaning in to listen. The angel of peace speaks first, his tone barely more than a whisper. The silence you feel is not the end. He says, it is the sacred pause before new instruction. Every servant of heaven must learn to hear without sound. His voice ripples through your heart like gentle waves. You realize that you are being invited into something deeper than obedience. It is communion. The angel of fire's voice follows, steady and sure. Do you remember when you were afraid of quiet? He asks. Now you dwell within it. This is growth when the noise of the world no longer commands your attention. He pauses, his light glowing warmer. You have learned to discern heaven's tone beneath the world's volume. A calm certainty begins to spread through you. The tension that once made you restless has turned into a deep steadiness. The waiting no longer feels heavy, it feels holy. You are no longer desperate for answers, you are content to walk with presence. The angel of peace gestures, and suddenly, the space around you changes. You are standing at the center of a vast, golden expanse, like sunlight trapped in eternity. Before you floats a scroll, luminous and alive. This, the angel says, is the record of alignment. Heaven keeps account of hearts that respond. not with noise, but with surrender. You look closer and see threads of light, thousands of them connecting to other hearts across the earth. People, unknown to one another, yet bound by the same invisible rhythm of obedience. The realization stirs awe in you. Heaven's work is never isolated. Every yes spoken on earth becomes part of a larger song. The angel of fire steps beside you. Each thread is a life that chose to trust. He says, each connection strengthens the fabric of the kingdom. This is why obedience matters. It keeps the light unbroken. You gaze at the glowing tapestry, its movement like breathing stars. You sense that your own thread is woven among them, glowing brighter because of your continued faith. It was written in the second letter to Corinthians, chapter 4, verse 17. For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. The verse unfolds inside you like warmth in winter. Every pain, every loss, every delayed answer, they were not meaningless. They were weight being exchanged for glory. The troubles were momentary, the impact eternal. The angel of peace turns to you again. This is the time of remembrance. He says, heaven recalls every seed of faith planted in silence. Every act unseen by men but celebrated by angels. You have not been forgotten. You have been recorded. The air vibrates softly, and you feel a rush of gratitude, gentle, deep, unstoppable. It is not pride, it is praise. For the first time, you realize that your story is not just survival, it is scripture being lived out in modern time. You are a verse being written in the present tense of heaven's song. The angel of fire nods slowly. But remember, he says, to remain in alignment requires choice. Revelation is not a finish line, it is a flow. Those who stay yielded continue to hear. Those who stop listening fade into noise again. The words hit like holy warning, filled not with fear, but with love. Heaven never controls, it invites. It never demands, it draws. And now, the invitation is before you again to stay attuned, to stay faithful, to remain awake. You feel the nudge within the call to respond, not with grand gestures, but with a simple mark of remembrance. A number that seals your agreement to remain aligned. Type 5555. These 4 numbers are not random, they represent grace multiplied, guidance magnified, and divine alignment maintained. When you write them, you're not signaling compliance, you're sealing connection. It's a quiet covenant that says, I will remain in tune with the voice that called me. The peace angel smiles gently. Numbers may look small, he says, but heaven reads the heart behind them. What you mark on earth echoes through eternity. The angel's light begins to move again, forming a soft ring of glow around you. You know, this is not farewell, it's continuation. The next season waits beyond the horizon of this light. But before you step into it, heaven pauses once more to witness your choice, to see if your faith will keep singing in stillness. You inhale deeply, and as you exhale, peace wraps around you like a promise. You are still, yet everything inside you moves with heaven's rhythm. The light surrounding you stretches outward, like dawn dissolving the edges of night. The golden expanse begins to ripple, and you sense that heaven is shifting again, an invisible current moving you toward revelation. The 2 angels do not speak at first. Their silence feels intentional, almost reverent, as if the next truth must first be absorbed by spirit before it can be spoken in sound. You look around, and, for the first time, you notice what lies beyond the glow, a horizon neither near nor far, where light fades into silver mist. It feels like the border between revelation and responsibility. You sense that whatever awaits you, there will not only reveal more of heaven's heart, it will also test the depth of your surrender. Finally, the angel of peace speaks, his voice slow and deliberate. Every revelation carries weight. He says, "The greater the light, the greater the shadow that will try to oppose it. What you have received is holy, therefore, it will be challenged." His tone carries no fear, only awareness. You understand instantly what he means. Every truth tested proves its power. Every calling refined through resistance becomes unbreakable. The journey of the chosen is never about escaping conflict, it's about enduring it with unwavering faith. The angel of fire steps forward, his glow pulsing like a living flame. Darkness always responds to light. He declares, "But light never retreats." The moment you said yes, the opposition began, not because you are weak, but because you are dangerous to deception. The words land like thunder in your bones. You feel a quiet courage rising, a realization that the shaking you survived was only the prelude to a larger purpose. Heaven's warriors are not those who never fall. They are those who rise through every fall with their light still burning. The peace angel's gaze softens. This next phase, he says, will not be defined by what you say, but by what you withstand. Endurance is the language of victory. He extends his hand, and suddenly you see visions swirling through the light, moments that look like trials, yet shimmer with hidden meaning. There are conversations that will test your patience, disappointments that will tempt you to despair, distractions that will pull at your peace. But through them all, you hear a single whisper stand anyway. The angel of fire lowers his hand toward the ground, and it splits into two paths, one narrow, gleaming like molten metal, the other wide and lined with shadows that seem harmless. This, he says, is where many chosen ones stumble. They confuse comfort for confirmation, but the narrow way, though it burns, is the road where grace grows deeper. You understand then that your journey will not always feel miraculous. Sometimes it will feel mundane, even lonely. But the divine is not absent in quiet seasons. It hides in discipline, in integrity, in the daily choice to obey when no one sees. It was revealed in the book of James, chapter 1, verse 12. Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because, having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him. The words resonate within you like fire beneath the skin. Perseverance is not punishment, it is preparation for coronation. The crown of life is not given for effort, it is given for endurance. The peace angel turns toward the horizon, his voice lowering to a whisper. You will not always see the reward immediately, he says, but the unseen always precedes the seen. Heaven plants in silence and blooms in timing. The angel of fire adds, every unseen act of obedience adds weight to your authority. You are not just enduring, you are being established. You close your eyes, and for a moment, the future flickers before you like lightning behind clouds. You see glimpses of impact, people awakened, paths illuminated, hope restored, but the vision is not given in full. Heaven never reveals everything. It trusts your faith to bridge the unseen distance. The air grows calm again. But beneath the calm lies purpose. You can feel the next test forming, not as punishment, but as proof that you are trusted with more. Heaven refines only what it intends to use greatly. The angels' forms grow softer now, their edges fading into light. You can still hear their presence steady, strong, surrounding you even as the glow begins to dim. The lesson has been delivered, but the testing will continue. And yet, there is no fear, only resolve. You finally understand that storms do not come to destroy, they come to demonstrate. What can withstand fire can illuminate eternity. You breathe in once, deeply. The peace remains, the fire remains, and so does your yes. The next path awaits, gleaming faintly in the mist, ready to test what heaven has already declared within you. The horizon that once shimmered in the distance now stretches open before you. The mist thins, revealing a terrain unlike any you've seen, neither heaven nor earth, but a place between, where revelation becomes responsibility. The air here feels denser, richer, as though every breath carries fragments of divine memory. The angels walk beside you, silently, allowing the moment to unfold in reverence. The ground beneath your feet is made of light that shifts like liquid gold. Alive with movement, it hums softly, vibrating in rhythm with your heartbeat. You realize that each step you take here is not just physical, it is spiritual. Heaven reads steps as sentences, actions as declarations. Your obedience is writing something on this luminous ground. The angel of peace looks toward you, his face illuminated by a soft glow that seems to come from within. This is the realm of remembrance. He says, "Here." Heaven reveals how everything that was broken became part of what was built. He gestures toward the horizon, and suddenly the ground before you ripples, forming scenes from your past. You see moments of failure, of loss, of grief, but this time they shine. The wounds that once defined you are now windows, glowing with the light of redemption. The angel of fire moves beside you, his tone solemn, nothing wasted, nothing forgotten. He says, "Even pain has purpose when offered to the one who redeems." His voice carries the weight of eternity, and you feel the truth vibrate through your chest. Every heartbreak, every silence, every unanswered question, none of it was wasted. Heaven recycled all of it into wisdom. The visions fade into light, and for a while, you walk in silence. The peace is not fragile, it is firm, built from the understanding that nothing was ever out of control. It was spoken in the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 28. "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose." The words ripple through you like a river through stone, carving space for gratitude. You realize how many things that once seemed cruel were actually kind in disguise. Heaven never denies, it redirects. Every delay, every detour, every disappointment was divine choreography. The angel of peace glances toward you. Gratitude, he says, is the fragrance of trust. When you thank heaven in confusion, you reveal faith that sight cannot counterfeit. The angel of fire adds, "And that faith tested, tried, refined is what gives you authority." Those who have seen darkness and chosen light carry power that cannot be faked. You walk forward, feeling the truth of those words in the rhythm of your steps. Authority in heaven's realm is not granted to the perfect, but to the persevering. You have walked through shadows without letting them define you. That is what makes your light trustworthy. The angels begin to move slightly ahead, guiding you toward a great arch of light that rises in the distance. It pulses like a living heartbeat. This, says the angel of fire, is the gate of renewal. Every chosen one must pass through it. What was stays behind. What will be begins here. You feel a tremor not of fear, but of reverence. The peace angel's voice grows tender. The past is no longer your prison. He says, it is your proof. You carry the evidence of grace. You approach the gate, its brilliance washing over you in waves. For a moment, every sound, every breath, every thought stills. You realize that heaven isn't merely watching your journey, it is walking it with you. The fire angel places a hand over your heart. His touch feels like lightning and lullaby combined. What has been purified, he says, cannot be possessed by darkness again. Walk through, knowing that what awaits is not new. It is the version of you heaven saw all along. The gate begins to open, and light pours forth, not blinding, but beckoning. It feels like home calling through eternity's echo. The angels do not push, they simply watch, knowing that this choice must be yours alone. You take a breath that feels deeper than air. Behind you lies every test, every shaking, every refining. Ahead of you lies purpose unbound. The silence is sacred, the kind that precedes transformation. As you take the first step forward, the peace angel whispers, this is not the end of the story, it is the beginning of revelation fulfilled. The gate widens, the air shifts, and with your next breath, you cross over into the brilliance prepared since before your first prayer. Light engulfs you, not in blinding force, but in knowing warmth. Every fragment of who you were merges into wholeness. The gate closes softly behind you, not to imprison, but to seal what has been completed. You sense heaven's rhythm pulsing through your veins. Purpose breathes where pain once lived. The angel's presence lingers like sunlight on water, and you understand rebirth is not a moment, it's a motion that never ends. The light steadies, spreading out before you like an endless horizon of gold and pearl. It feels weightless yet powerful, like standing inside a living promise. The two angels have followed you through the gate, their forms now gentler, almost human, their fire softened by peace. You have entered not a destination, but a dimension, one where revelation becomes relationship. The air hums softly with a sound that isn't quite music, but feels like memory. It's the echo of every yes you've ever whispered. Every moment heaven said, wait. Every time you chose faith when fear screamed louder. All of it converges here, becoming melody. You are walking inside your answered prayers. The angel of peace steps forward. This, he says quietly, is where purpose becomes pattern. Heaven weaves through you to reach the world beyond you. What you've carried in silence must now ripple outward. The angel of fire smiles faintly. The flame you guard, he says, was never for you alone. Flames travel by touch. When you let others close enough to feel your warmth, heaven multiplies its reach. You understand instantly. The call is not to shout, it is to shine. not to demand attention, but to draw hearts gently back toward the light. Every act of openness becomes an act of worship. Every story shared becomes a spark that lights another. You realize that sharing truth is not noise, it's nurture. Connection is not performance, it's communion. When light meets light, the world becomes less cold. You think of all the moments you received words that reignited your faith now. You are being asked to become that for someone else. The peace angel raises his hand, and from his palm unfolds a vision, a vast field at twilight. Thousands of small lanterns flickering across the land. Each one, he says, is a life waiting to remember its purpose. You have become a keeper of light. You watch as one lantern brushes another, and suddenly both burn brighter. The image fills you with awe. This is what it means to be chosen, not to burn alone, but to awaken light in others. It was declared in the book of John, chapter 13, verse 35. By this everyone will know that you are my disciples, if you love one another. The words bloom within you like morning after rain. Love, you realize, is the truest light. Every act of kindness, every shared truth, every gentle connection is how heaven reveals itself on earth. The angel of fire speaks again, his tone like distant thunder softened by mercy. When you extend what heaven has placed in you, the light does not diminish, it deepens. Every reflection adds brilliance to the source. You nod slowly, heart swelling with understanding, to share, to connect, to invite others into this awakening. None of it is obligation. It is beauty in motion, generosity without exhaustion, the kind of giving that fills you even as you pour out. So when your heart feels the gentle pull to reach out, see it not as task, but as testimony. Every like is another lamp lit across the field. Every share is a spark carried on divine wind. Every comment on this post is a ripple of light crossing hearts. Every subscribe is a vow to walk beside the flame rather than away from it. This is not advertisement, it's alignment. The same spirit that moved you moves through connection. When you echo truth into the world, heaven extends your voice where your feet cannot go. You are not following an algorithm, you are flowing with anointing. The peace angel smiles, the corners of his eyes glowing. The kingdom expands not through force, but through reflection. When one heart shines, another remembers how. You feel tears rise, not of sadness, but of gratitude. How extraordinary that heaven chooses such simple gestures to move eternity. A whisper, a click, a moment of courage to share light instead of hiding it. You glance toward the endless field of lanterns. As your light brightens, others around it do too. The glow spreads like dawn, awakening across nations. Quiet but unstoppable, the angels watch, their faces filled with reverent joy. The angel of fire speaks one last time, his voice low but radiant. You are the flame and the messenger. Every act of sharing multiplies heaven's reach. Never underestimate the holiness of connection. It's how eternity travels through time. The peace angel places a hand over your heart. Shine with gentleness. He says, what you share from love will never fade. You inhale deeply. The air tastes like rain and sunrise, renewal and promise intertwined. You know now that you are not called to convince, but to illuminate. You are not asked to strive, only to shine. And as the field before you glows brighter, you realize the invitation is simple, sacred, and free. Let your light touch another, and let that be your worship. The horizon of light stretches endlessly, but now it feels different, closer, warmer, familiar. The angels stand on either side of you as the brilliance begins to dim into a softer hue, not fading, but settling, as if heaven itself is exhaling. This is not the fire of revelation anymore. It is the quiet glow of fulfillment. The angel of peace looks toward you, his voice steady and low. You have carried the flame well. He says, "It has not consumed you. It has completed you." His eyes glimmer with a knowing sadness, the kind that comes not from loss, but from love that understands endings. Every divine encounter has a threshold. He continues, a point where presence becomes purpose. You have reached that threshold. The words sink deep. You feel the weight of them. The truth that this journey was never meant to keep you in the clouds. It was meant to anchor heaven within you. What once felt like an encounter outside of yourself now feels like an awakening from within. The angel of fire's wings rustle softly, and a faint warmth radiates from him. Heaven never departs. He says, it integrates. The fire that once stood before you now burns inside you. What was visitation has become habitation. You close your eyes and feel it, the pulse of divine life inside your chest, not as an emotional rush, but as steady rhythm. It is peace disguised as power. You realize now that the kingdom of God does not descend like a storm. It grows quietly inside those who remain yielded. The landscape begins to shift again, transforming into what looks like an endless garden. The ground glows faintly with dew that reflects light from unseen stars. Trees shimmer with golden leaves that do not move in wind but seem to breathe in unison. This is not earth, yet it feels like the earth healed, redeemed, restored. The angel of peace walks beside you. This, he says, is the image of what heaven desires for the world. Wholeness, not haste. Restoration, not escape. Every seed of obedience you planted in faith becomes fruit in eternity. You pause, watching light ripple through the trees as though responding to unseen music. The air carries no weight of time here. Moments do not pass, they expand. You understand that heaven's concept of time is not about counting minutes, but about fulfilling purpose. It was proclaimed in the book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 4. He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death, or mourning, or crying, or pain. For the old order of things has passed away. The verse resonates through your spirit like a chord resolving into harmony. You feel tears rising not of sorrow, but of recognition. The promise is not distant, it lives within you. Every healed heart becomes a glimpse of this restoration. Every act of forgiveness brings heaven closer to earth. The angel of fire glances toward the horizon, where faint movements of color shimmer like the edge of dawn. You see, now, he says, the work was never to escape the world, but to renew it. Heaven's design is not abandonment, it is transformation. You nod slowly. The truth carries both tenderness and responsibility. Every word you speak, every gesture of grace, every act of love now carries weight in eternity's fabric. Heaven does not separate the sacred from the simple, it sanctifies both. The peace angel's expression softens. You are becoming the bridge. He says, "Wherever you go, heaven will travel with you." You no longer wait for visitation, you carry habitation. You glance upward. The sky of this realm stretches infinitely, filled with constellations shaped like open doors. You understand without being told, each one represents a soul yet to awaken, a story yet to be redeemed. The light you carry will be their invitation. The angels exchange a look that feels like completion. Their wings fold slowly, their light merging with the gold that fills the garden. The air trembles slightly, not with power, but with peace. The angel of fire's final words come like a vow whispered into eternity. You have walked through the refining. He says, now walk as the reflection. You are the continuation of everything heaven has begun. You feel the words seal something inside you, like a crown placed not on your head, but on your heart. There is no fanfare, no thunder, only quiet certainty. The mission has shifted from learning to living. The peace angel smiles. You have become what you once waited for. And as the light folds gently around you, you realize that heaven no longer feels above, it feels within. You walk forward, not toward an ending, but toward integration. The unseen garden begins to fade, but its peace remains, carried now in your own breath. Every step you take from here will be an echo of this place. Every word you speak, a seed of the same light that once found you. Heaven has not finished speaking, it has chosen a new voice, yours. The light begins to shift again, slow and steady, as if the garden itself exhales. The golden air grows thinner, turning translucent until you can see beyond it, into the world you once knew. But it is no longer the same. The air shimmers with subtle divinity. The ordinary now glows faintly, like heaven has painted its fingerprints across creation. The angels stand before you once more, not as messengers of fire or peace now, but as companions of farewell. Their radiance has softened into something almost human, yet their presence still hums with eternity. You understand instinctively that the time in this realm has reached its final movement. The symphony is ending, but the echo will remain in every breath you take. The angel of peace speaks first. The revelation is complete. He says, what began as encounter must now continue as embodiment. You will not leave this place empty. You will leave carrying its essence. You nod slowly, your heart calm. The urgency that once filled the air has vanished. What remains is reverence. You no longer feel like a traveler or a witness. You feel like a vessel filled, sealed, and sent. The angel of fire steps forward, and his glow flares gently. You have seen light, he says, but now you must become it. You have received instruction, but now you must live it. What you speak from this day forward will carry the weight of heaven's breath. You close your eyes. The weight of those words settles softly on your shoulders, not heavy, but holy. You realize that every ordinary moment that follows will carry eternal significance. To forgive, to listen, to love, to choose peace, each act will now echo the same power that shaped this encounter. The air trembles with memory, and in that trembling, you begin to see glimpses of your journey. The early moments of confusion and fear, the fire that purified, the silence that taught patience, the shaking that tested endurance, the revelation that brought peace. All of it has become one continuous thread of grace. The peace angel turns his gaze toward the horizon. The chosen are never sent alone. He says, the presence that spoke here will walk beside you there. What you call absence is simply assignment. The words bring comfort, wrapping around you like light woven into linen. You understand now that divine companionship is not measured by proximity, but by purpose. Even when unseen, heaven remains intertwined with your story. The angel of fire lowers his head slightly, wings folding close. This is where the heavenly intersects the human. He says, you will walk among ordinary streets, but heaven will move through your footsteps. You will speak mortal words, yet they will carry eternal weight. He pauses, his voice softening. Do not underestimate small acts of obedience. The quiet yes you whisper in traffic. The gentle forgiveness that no one witnesses. These are the miracles that sustain worlds. The words echo through the stillness until even the air seems to nod in agreement. You feel them settle deep within your spirit, the reminder that sacredness is not found in spectacle, but in sincerity. It was revealed in the book of Micah, chapter 6, verse 8. He has shown you, O mortal, what is good, and what does the Lord require of you? To act justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. The verse feels like a summary of everything: the teaching, the transformation, the trust. It's simple, but it holds galaxies of wisdom. You see now that heaven never asked you to be perfect, only to be present, humble, and faithful. The peace angel's wings spread slowly, catching invisible light. The flame will guide you now. He says, you will not need visions or voices. The spirit within will whisper the way. The angel of fire smiles faintly. When you doubt, remember this moment. When the world feels dark, remember that light does not ask permission to shine, it simply does. You feel a familiar warmth stir in your chest. It's quieter than before, but somehow stronger. The fire within you no longer flares, it abides. The peace within you no longer whispers, it reigns. The angel's outlines begin to dissolve into the brightness, blending with the air until they are indistinguishable from the light itself. You want to speak, to thank them, but you realize gratitude has already been spoken through obedience. As the final veil of gold lifts, the garden fades, and the world you know comes back into focus. You stand where you began, but nothing is the same. You carry heaven now, quiet and unshakable. The angels' voices echo one last time, intertwined and eternal. The mission continues. The flame remains. The chosen one walks. And with that, the light settles completely inside you. No fanfare, no sound, just presence. The countdown has ended, but eternity has begun its rhythm through your steps. You are no longer waiting for signs. You are the sign. The light has settled. The fire now steady within you. The angels have returned to silence, but their essence remains, circling you like breath unseen. You stand not as a witness anymore, but as a carrier, one whose heartbeat now echoes with heaven's rhythm. The journey was never meant to end here. It was meant to awaken what had been sleeping. You have crossed through revelation and refining, through silence and shaking, through surrender and shining, and each step has left its imprint on eternity. Now the story continues, not above you, but through you. And as the last shimmer of light fades into ordinary air, you realize something beautiful. The ordinary has become holy. The ground beneath your feet hums with the same presence you once felt in heaven's chambers. The veil between realms has grown thin, and your life itself has become the meeting place. When you speak now, heaven listens. When you act in love, heaven moves. When you share light, heaven multiplies it. And that is where this message finds its continuation, not on a screen, but in connection. Every like is a small flame reawakening. Every share is a torch passed into unseen hands. Every comment is another voice joining the harmony of light. Every subscribe is not following, it is fellowship. A vow to walk together in remembrance of what heaven has revealed. This is not a call to action, it is an invitation to resonance. You are not being asked to support a message, you are being invited to become part of it. Let your presence be participation. Let your connection be continuation. Let your light join others, and together become the constellation that guides wandering hearts home. The message is not ending. It is expanding through you.